Oh, I leveled up. Let's put our point in there. And we got 15 points to spend out here. Let me take that off for a moment. Let's bring that up to 40. Bring that up to 40. Let's put a whole bunch in technical and see if we can pick some locks. And then put my ring back on. Ding! Are you still in here? That guy sucks. He's the worst shopkeeper. You don't buy gems, do you? No. You don't buy the armor. But you will. Oh, I have a disabled trap scroll. That's what I was supposed to use that for. Oh, well. They're not cuckoos. They're chickens. They're legally distinct. Go to your damn shop. I need money.
Come and visit my shop during working hours.
No. Now, this is the stuff I'm already wearing, right? Leather chest, AC3. Yeah. So you can have that. And that. Got all these keys. I don't know what they go to. Okay, jumping only propels you forward one time. Oh, I see some stuff. Can I get there? You can't get through that. Hey, Wilds! We had a real rocky start. Careful. This is going to end very poorly. Or it's just going to end right here and I can't get around. Yeah, I was running into a weird problem where where I could move super fast, but all the animations were real choppy. And I ended up having to copy my save files over to another install that was using a fan patch.
We need more information about the earthquakes. It's getting more and more troubling.
Minor tremors have always been a part of life in Arx, but there's no denying that they've become more frequent of late. I suspect that the energy channel created by Akbar's worshippers must disturb the natural order. It must stop, and soon.
Do you think there's danger of a general collapse?
If this were the case, our order would have discovered it. The real danger at the moment is Akbar.
Be vigilant, both of you, and warn me the minute you have news. Thank you once more, Amshigar. The rocks have been cleared. You have once again earned our thanks and this reward. You have proven yourself a valuable asset to the kingdom, and I shall have to consider a more official role for you here. Ah, yes. How would you like it if I made you
we have discovered signs that another ritual has taken place.
That's the third one in less than a week. Where this time?
Just by the air duct, Your Majesty. Do you think this could be connected with the Fallon Orboplanix murder?
Probably. I'll get my new friend to look into it. Thank you, Carlo. You may go.
Very good, sire.
Well then, what do you think of this? I suggest you investigate this shady sect, who I am almost sure have executed Fallon Orboplanix, our old astronomer. I need someone who is not known as an agent of the king, a fearless man. Will you serve me in this role?
This is all somewhat confusing, Your Majesty, but I could certainly look into it.
I know you will not disappoint me. You will be free to question any of my people in your investigations. Guards, give this man free rein of the castle's private quarters. In addition, dear Amshigar, here is the key to one of my royal chambers. It is now yours. Please consider it your new home.
That is a most kind gesture.
Don't mention it. We shall hold a council meeting as soon as you bring back news of these disturbing events.
Oh, level up again. And which of these rooms was mine? It's this. They even made a little plaque with my name on it. And so we have our own little room. Extra inventory space. Here is a place to store our stuff. Stack that. Including all of our alchemy crud. Bjorn, that's only if you quit. Let's put that in there too. It'd be really nice to know what all these keys went for, and if I didn't need them anymore. Come on, stack. Did I make a mistake in picking that up? More food. Take it, take it, take it, and shove it into the same box. Get that mana regen. Let's bump up our object knowledge to 40. And I think that'll let us make some potions. But first... Okay, nothing back here except a pig. But if I barbecue the pig, then everybody else is going to want some, and there may not be enough to go around. And then they'll get mad. Okay. I think he's finally gone to work. That is not worth a whole lot of money. Also not worth a whole lot of money, but I'll do it anyways, because it's better than just holding on to it. Or is that 119 each? Oh, it's 119 each. Okay. I thought that was what he's giving me for the whole stack. 3,430 bucks. Who are you?
I'm sorry, but I won't be able to sell you anything today. I'm gonna have to close up the stall now.
Are you in need of a healer?
No, I'm not sick. It's my little girl, Shani. She's been missing since yesterday, and I'm beside myself with worry.
Missing?
She was playing at the other side of the square, near the jewelers. And she never came back to the stall. Nobody has seen her, and the guards are far too busy dealing with the Illicit attacks to do anything about it.
I will discover what has happened to your little girl.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. You are heaven-sent, traveler.
No. Earlier we learned that she also likes to play inside the crypt, so that's probably where she's gone. Hey, guard dude.
Look, I'm a bit too busy to talk right
Alright,
now.
fine. Dog. That dog still sounds terrible. See, I want to look down here. Oh, that's what that is. Alright, so I found that guy's toilet. Yay.
You have to watch those goblins. Vicious little bastards they are.
Alright, I don't know why that guy's not wearing pants, but he is in his own house, so I'm not going to question it. I would think they would lay eggs. You know, be more snaky. I thought those bats were attacking me for a second. Now these guys are. Bonk. Yes, Wilds, I am taking shots at FF8 because this is how you draw magic. Oh, the guards are all back. I hope they don't mind that I've been using this place as storage. Come on, take it. Actually, I don't need the rolling pin.
Beware. We're watching you.
Oh, they're watching me. Can we do it?
Not really a very successful attempt.
Can we do it?
It's too complicated. Locked.
Keys. Keys. None of these keys are going to be the right one.
Forever loyal.
You should play more Kingdom Come, but you've got other things that you need to stream first. Suddenly music for a second. Kingdom Come is about at the limit of what my poor PC can handle playing. Actually, I don't remember the big battle that you're talking about. Gonna equip this knife, and we're gonna retire this club. Oh wait, no, we're gonna keep the club because it's better than the knife. And even better than the club is this sword. Finely crafted rust sword. It's just kind of held in my wrist. Lost 10-15 FPS on average just streaming it. Yeah, I remember you were running into that problem, but it didn't look like the stream was suffering too badly. Unless it ran much worse on your PC than it looked on the screen. I have noticed sometimes whenever I'm just recording a game using like Fraps or something, the game performance will look terrible, but the video comes out silky smooth, and I don't get it. Alright, sell that magic missile scroll. And I guess we'll just hold on to the rest of this junk. Yep. Yeah, Bjorn, sometimes I'll just save scum until I can open whatever I'm trying to pick. Because I think there's like an element of randomness, but when you fail, it uses up some of the durability on your tools. And I don't really feel like save scumming a whole lot. At least not on stream.
I'm not paid to stand and chat.
Hey, I'm the law.
Hello.
That's better. And the cheese. I can make that into bread if I need to. Wilds, to an extent, I am Hobo Cop. Because I don't have a home except for the one that I just got here. And they've told me to figure out this murder investigation. I think this is for like a fast travel system, but I can't remember how exactly you use it. Remember when they said to open up the castle to me? Unless my key opens these two. Which one was it? No. 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 No, it's not these two, because these are goblin keys.
Well, guys, we're gonna need it.
Thanks. Good night.
Night.
Yeah, good night. For those who can sleep. I could have drunk a bit more yesterday. Oh no, here we go again. Can't sleep. Snore.
Heal scroll. Library and laboratory.
Well, a new As you can see, I look after the kingdom's library. What can I do for you?
That's probably fine. Nothing interesting. So, the Guild of Travelers was the first institution created after the death of Arx's son. Its origins stem from a handful of die-hard survivors who did not want to join the rest of the population underground. These rare survivors developed techniques for resisting the cold by ingesting alchemists' drugs. Nice. They built their own shelters from ice and bred dogs which were also able to resist the cold and drugs. They were joined by other men and women who were not afraid of the cold and also wanted to venture out to other cities. Out of these journeys was born the Guild of Travelers, which is now the only remaining means of communication between the underground cities. They are always well respected and eagerly welcomed, for they are the only people to bring news from outside. And nothing in there. A book, a book. Books, a book. Very little is known about the Sisters of Aeternium. Even the origins of these creatures, half women, half snake, is not known to us. In some places, their skin is covered in scales. Ew. Snakes covered in scales? Are they some kind of race that dates from ancient times, or are they simply women who are victims of some form of mutation? Nobody but they could reveal the answer to this mystery. They seem to worship a snake god, but we know nothing about this god, and all the secrets about his cult are jealously guarded by the Sisterhood. We imagine that this god gave them their magic powers, but as with all the other information we have about the Order, we cannot be sure. Certain legends claim that it is the worship of this god that is responsible not only for their magic powers, but also for their transformation into snakes. There is, however, no proof of this. Since Arx's son went into decline, the members of the Sisterhood have been the greatest allies humans have ever had. When our race first began to make a life underground, the sisters offered their magic gifts to the king to bring to life a new variety of plant that could grow without the light of the sun's rays, and that's why we have trees and stuff underground. So that humans and their livestock might find nourishment. The population of Arx has a great deal of respect for the Sisters of the Order of Aeternium, and will be eternally grateful for what they have done. Nagas covered in Go-Gurt. History of Arx. In ancient times, 5 human tribes inhabited the largest continent of our world. These tribes were always at war, and the more structured they became, the worse it got. After years of war and a buildup of hatred, a man by the name of Paxelis came and succeeded in uniting these different groups. He became the first king of the humans. After the last battle of the Shattered Shields in the year 170, Arx enjoyed its longest ever period of peace and prosperity. During Paxelis' reign, the only period of war was, in fact, the philosophical wars of the conflict we call the War of the Magi. However, even though this war was brutal and many people died in it, it in fact only lasted a few months and had no effect on the political leadership of our kingdom, so who cares about them? For the rest of his reign, Paxelis was faced by a number of threats. A large number of goblin invasions were warded off as rat men began to live in the city sewers. Battles were bloody, and this unjust war lasted a long time, but the kingdom's armies, led by Paxelis himself, massacred their enemies, and once more peace reigned over Arx and the corpses of all of his foes. The exploration of the oceans began. Many strong boats put out to sea on the oceans to seek new lands. Many strong boats put out to sea on the oceans to seek new lands and new treasures. Okay. How about many strong boats were put out to sea? But in 216, a meteor fell to Earth in our fell to Earth in our world, as opposed to others. At first, nobody thought anything of this phenomenon, but certain visionaries sensed that it was a very bad omen for Arx's future. In fact, just years later, our sun began to die. Light became rarer and rarer, and the temperature plummeted to dangerous levels. Our then very youthful and handsome king, Lundshire, son of Poxellus, ordered the whole city be moved to a new, nearby, disused dwarf mine. It was an enormous amount of work, but all people knew they were working for their own salvation, and not a soul complained. I don't buy that. A peace treaty was signed with all the other races except for the Ratmen, because screw them. However, their attacks became fewer at this time. All were busy saving Arx, saving their own lives. A treaty was signed giving a level of the mine to each race in exchange for the work done. This harmony lasted 5 years, during which time our sun perished. Everything was done to save Arx's inhabitants, but nevertheless many lost their lives. In addition, nothing was heard from any of the other cities on the continent, and the logical conclusion was reached that they had done the same. It was not until much later that the news arrived, borne by members of the Guild of Travelers. Other fortresses did still exist, spread across the continent, imprisoned in a thick shell of ice. The Guild of Travelers is now the only thing that allows communication and the occasional traffic of luxury products to flow between them. Apart from these sporadic contacts, Arx is totally self-sufficient. Snake Lady.
Wouldn't you have drawn this pentagram in blood?
Anyone who knows anything about the magic arts would know that this symbol protects us from the demon. Since our astronomer, Fallon Orbiplanix, was murdered, I can feel that something evil is hanging over the whole of Arx.
And what about these rituals? Who killed Orbiplanix?
Darkness pours from these rituals. The death of Fallon Orbiplanix has all the signs of black magic and its evil practices. Fallon was a good man, righteous and steadfast. I suppose he found out the truth about who is carrying out these rituals.
Okay, so great bloodletting, the gloaming, etc., oblivion, and maws of whatever. There's some stuff in here that I want. Where is it?
Locked. Locked.
Magic potions. Making your own potions is both easy and straightforward. All it takes is meticulousness and patience. First, you must find an empty bottle. Then you need the reagent specific to each potion. When you have this, crush it into a fine powder, which I've been doing, and put it into the vial. Heat it with a still, and the potion is ready. So, it's pretty straightforward. Mana potions, powdered lily, which is the blue stuff, and then the antidotes, purple. And invisibility potions, snowdrop flowers, which probably not going to get my skill up high enough to use that. Poisons, I don't even know if I'm going to be using poisons. Healing potions, the yellow, and that's all. This page left intentionally blank. And this is one of those magic fields, which, if I recall... Nope, that ain't it. Oh, that was it. Okay. There, we have successfully dispelled the field.
I am Falnor, alchemist of the kingdom, and friend of the late Fallon Orbiplanix.
Who was Fallon Orbiplanix?
Fallon was our astronomer. He died a few days ago. I think he was about to bring to light a terrible plan, but he never got time to say more about it.
I'm investigating the rituals and the death of Fallon Orbiplanix.
All I can tell you is that these two things are linked. I have here a note that Fallon gave me the day he died, in case anything happened to him. I never really understood what it meant. Maybe you will understand.
Alright, we got a letter. 6 becomes 4 when you take the first from it. The first multiplied by the second makes the last. And the last multiplied by the first makes 16. So it's a combination lock. And we gotta figure out the numbers. Gonna take all this stuff. Grind it up. Who is this guy I'm investigating? The king has entrusted me with this. What am I doing? Alright. My tools are just about broken. Oh, I guess not, but... Oh, I can open it. It was just locked until I talked to him. Alright, we got Vista, which means vision. Mega, which means increase. Tar, which we're going to sell, because we already have that. Cetrius, which I think... Poison? And Yolk, which we already have. Also potions, and empty bottles. Need to borrow this for just a second. Some snowdrop powder. Alright. I want to do it. Just make sure I've actually got all the runes. Alright, Mega, Yolk. Great. Mr. Dude. I'm gonna save again. Not sorry. Okay, she's gonna totally kick my ass, so... But that's the incinerate spell.
Take a look around while I'm working.
Hey. Oh wait, yeah, it was Ni Spatium. There's another version of that spell that's area effect, and it just lights everything up and then it all explodes, and it's great. But I probably can't use that. Okay, books. The races of Arx. Relations between the different races in Arx have always been difficult. The goblins were the most populous of all the races, due in part to their high fertility rates, giggity. However, as they were never able to organize themselves into a united kingdom, they gradually lost their predominant position. Fundamentally, goblins are not very intelligent. They have their own language and mostly speak a kind of pigeon version of human language. They are always looking for something to find fault with, constantly annoying the person they are talking to. Is this like a racial trait, or does this author just not like them? They are liars, arrogant, cowardly, and extremely lazy. The only time the goblins were ever allies of humans was during the Great Treaty, and even then I hated them. During this time, they helped build the Underground Kingdom, putting their natural aggression and bad manners aside for a while. However, they could not put aside their stench, and after the work was complete, they had all settled in, they slipped back into their old ways. It seemed that trading gemstones is the only peaceful activity even the most tolerant of each race can bear. Trolls are a different kettle of fish. Even if it seems that their origins are similar to those of the goblins, they are completely different. They are very weak-willed and are creatures that seem to live in slow motion. They are not aggressive and are much more often benevolent, but their monstrous strength and legendary stamina makes them both weighty allies and lethal adversaries. Their existence is made up of these simple things in life, such as finding something to eat or somewhere to sleep. Because they are mentally weak, and they are quite easy to fool. But woe become anyone who does so if they find out, as their anger is legendary. I get a feeling that there's a slight bias in this book. The Ratmen have always preferred to have very little contact with other races. They communicate in signs rather than words, sometimes adding in cooing sounds. Ratmen are extremely agile and thus are formidable adversaries in combat. Some of them are the biggest killers in Arx. They are very subtle and extremely swift. They often use poisoned weapons. They live underground in the city's sewers when humans still lived above ground. Feeding off waste products and excrement seems to suit them very well. Until now, the few run-ins we have with the Ratmen have been brief but bloody. They made occasional forays into human cities to rifle through garbage bins looking for food and rudimentary tools. Since they have been hiding underground in the fortress of Arx, they have slowly lost all contact with the other races and move around with exemplary discretion. Also, they are stupid and they stink and I hate them. Next one. Dwarves have a passion for anything mechanical and craftsmanship and for anything to do with engineering. They are also the best blacksmiths in the world. They have lived in the underground fortress well before all other races took residence there. They're the only ones who know how to build mines and exploit them properly, and they often sell products they mine to humans. They have always had an appalling relationship with goblins and waged numerous wars against them, and that's why I like dwarves. One of their largest mines was chosen as a refuge and the site for the new city of Arx. They also helped build basic infrastructure on site and undertook many jobs there apart from those on the goblin level, as they were already used to living in the depths and they moved further underground, continue to exploit their mines. This guy really should not be in charge of writing educational books on other sapient species. The origins of the Hot Sisters of Adurnham is a mystery. They look like hybrids between women and sexy snakes. Their skin is covered in scales, which another author seemed to find strange. There seem to be no males in their race, and we know nothing about how they reproduce, but I intend to find out. They are very gifted in the use of magic, making them the best magicians in Arx. According to a certain legend, they were involved in the very origins of magic. They have always been very close to the human race, helping them at every difficult stage in their development. During the migration, the sisters promised to help the king of the humans and created underground plants to feed the inhabitants and their livestock. Very little is known about the dragons. However, scholars have noticed that there are 4,815 scales on every specimen studied. That is an oddly specific thing to figure out amidst all the other things we don't know. Great inventions. Human imagination has always given our society fantastic inventions. Everyone can remember the gigantic balloons kept aloft by hot air which gave us such great capacity for exploration in the past. They also provided an excellent surveillance system against invasions, allowing us to keep watch over great distances. This is now useless to us because we're underground. Another of the most fabulous inventions ever conceived was the submarine. This marvelous construction brought us new means for fighting off pirates and goblin fleets. This gave us naval supremacy during the dark years of chaos and despair, at least until the sun went dark and we can't go to the oceans anymore. Lord Marco, creator of the priceless invention, is one of the most celebrated heroes in the whole of Arx, but the greatest human invention is undoubtedly the underground kingdom of Arx. Perhaps it is not so much an invention as the conversion of an existing structure, its origins, or that of old dwarf mind. We kind of know all this already. A splendid structure has become even more impressive thanks to the way humans have organized it. The old mines become a truly autonomous world using available space. Each known race was granted a level. We know this already. The kingdom is a living demonstration of the human determination can achieve because we're just so good. Not like those stinky goblins and trolls. Okay, that's all of the books. There's dragons, and then that's all there is about them, just random scale trivia. Yeah. We don't know we don't know a lot about them, but we know exactly how many scales are on their body. That's all the information we could get.
I am the new astronomer. I was assistant to poor Fallon Orbaplanix, and since his death, I do my best to look after the observatory.
Sweeberus, What can you tell me about the rituals? Do you know who killed Fallon Orbiplanix?
Really, I don't know what you're talking about. You know, I'm still just a novice in my art, and on top of that, I hate violence.
Trustworthy.
What did the stars tell you?
The current astral configuration is fascinating.
Just sitting there counting the dragon's scales while the dragon is still alive. And behold, the surface of the planet.
Locked.
What did the stars tell you?
My job demands high levels of concentration.
Just walk away while the guy is talking. Now, I thought we got the picture of the surface from that guy, from that astronomer. Because there was the troll from the last episode it's his birthday and he wants a present. And one of his friends suggested getting him a picture of the surface.
I'm sure I've forgotten something.
You and me both, lady. Council room. Locked. Bob.
Respect the laws of the kingdom.
I am the law. Cooking for goblins. Recipe for symbols. Mix sugar and flour, add the required amount of water, knead the dough until it is of an even consistency. When this has been done, put it in the oven, taking care not to burn it. Once it's cooked, take a chicken's egg, mix the white and the yolk, spread this mixture in the cake, put it back in the oven. That sounds really complicated. I probably won't be doing that. I don't even know if you can do that. Piece of wood is... What is that even doing there? I guess it's doing nothing. Just put that back there. I don't think I've ever even seen sugar, so no, I don't think you can actually make that cake that it was talking about.
You should talk to Carlo if you want to apply for a job.
I don't need to apply for a job. I'm a cop. Wait a second. I doubt it.
It's too complicated for me.
Darn. Put some of these things away first, and then go sell some stuff. We also need to do some investigating. They said that the ritual was performed over by the air vent. And there's also that little girl that's disappeared. I thought they were supposed to open this castle up to me.
I'm not paid to stand and chat.
Wait, how high does this stack? I don't understand the stacking in this game. So sometimes it goes up to 12, sometimes it caps at 10. Put that there. Yeah, this is the guy's room, the guy that was killed. And the door's locked, so I guess there's nothing important to the investigation inside there. And I think the air vent that the ritual was done at was over this way. But I am wrong.
I'm not paid to stand and chat.
See, here's one of the air vents, but it's not the one where the ritual was done.
That guy snored so strong last night I could hardly get some sleep.
Do you have anything to tell me about the rituals?
No, Amshagar. No news.
Could you even tell me where it was done? Because I've just about done a lap of the town and I haven't found it yet.
I feel tired.
Maybe it was done in the castle. We'll go check that again. Maybe I just missed it. been sacrificial rituals going on lately around the castle. The king wants me to find more about this. Apparently, it could be related to the murder and must question the kingdom's people. So we still have not found what we need to find. And here's the vent, and I don't see anything that looks like a magic ritual. Alright, all of you. You're asleep. Wake up. Hey, Wilds, thanks for the host.
Respect the laws of the kingdom.
Look, I'm a bit too busy to talk right now.
Yeah, I can tell you're super busy. Tell me, Your Highness, did you do it?
Do you like your new room?
Yes, it's nice. There's lots of storage.
This job is boring. I should have accepted Gary's offer.
Respect the laws of the kingdom.
I can't do anything on the bed. That wall segment looks funky. Ah, what's this? This just lets out in the kitchen, doesn't it? Yep, nothing weird going on here.
Always the same.
You got anything else to say?
I'm investigating Fallon's death.
You must continue your investigation in his laboratories or his quarters.
You got a key?
Let your mind lose itself in this library.
Take a look around while I'm working.
I'm gonna take all this stuff. Especially these life potions. There you go. You may continue your work. There was nothing in this that I left anyways. Whatever's in there is probably important.
What did the stars tell you?
The current astral configuration is fascinating.
Yeah, I don't care about that. I need the key to your old boss's house. None of these are going to work. What about this one? Will this work?
It's too complicated for me.
Nope.